Warning, don't listen if it's a podcast you want. This is a Chumcast. Just your basic gabfest among chums. A little news, some entertainment, an annoying opinion or two, and, if you're lucky, maybe even a chuckle.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
So it's time to buckle up. Whetstone Entertainment, in association with Is Chill Productions, presents Don't Listen, a basic Chumcast. And here are your hosts, Big Red and The Shebs.
Remember, everyone, just don't be yourselves.
It's showtime.
Go time already.
Fired it up, Big Red. You walked in here ready to go.
Oh, yeah. Giddy up.
You know, this happens every now and then with you. You kind of...
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'm in a good mood.
You actually want to do this.
I'm not always a grumpy old man.
You're not. I can attest to that.
All right. So hello and welcome. It is the Don't Listen Chumcast. I'm Big Red and he is the Shebs. And we are in the Belameda Pool Studios.
Belameda Pool. This is a nod for our national audience. This is a nod for all local pools growing up, teaching us giving us the place where we learn to swim.
This was like Caddyshack indoors. It was like the indoor pool where everybody from the neighborhood showed up and urinated into the pool without it being a problem.
And you know how much people urinated by the strength of the chlorine. And I tell you, the Belameda Pool, I mean, you swam for a half hour, you came out and you were seeing rainbows around everything. Everything that was a lighted
pull
object.
up that picture. Pull up the picture.
This is on the Facebook group. You know you're from Belmont when, again, Belmont being the local town.
When you urinated in the Belameda Pool.
And it was the shape, it was really, you go back, it looked, of course, we're young, so it looks bigger back then, but it was small, and it was shaped like a Borneo men's longhouse. It was just a pool with a the whole wooden frame. And
I thought it was huge.
I thought it was... Some of the pictures, it looks a lot smaller than I remember. I thought it was much bigger than it was.
Like, I thought it was like the Houston Astrodome size. I mean, and that must have been free. That must have been a free situation because we were not paying.
I don't know.
And it was like every ghetto kid from the peninsula was there.
Yeah, that's where you learned to swim. That was one of the places you did, right? And your lessons, I remember over your lessons, you graduated by the going deeper in the pool. So your first lesson, you're in the shallow end, and then your second lesson, you're down a little bit further. Your third sets of lessons. I mean, over time, you graduated to the deeper end of the pool, which I think was 6 feet or something like that. So
I wonder how many kids that we ran into as like, young 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds that we didn't know that we would meet again at Carlmont.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's what it was. And again, these are we chose Belameda today just because number one, it got torn down.
Yeah, like everything else.
Again, it's not there anymore, but and they expanded the public library in its place. But no, it's not all the public pools out there. I know my wife, from Youngstown, Ohio, and they had a big kind of public pool out there. Her father was a Olympic alternate, and he learned to swim and dive out there.
Wait a minute. Huh. They tore down the Belameda Pool for that library?
Yeah.
I am not happy with that decision.
I'm just saying.
I don't think I was happy with that decision. Do you know when it was torn down? You have a ballpark as to what year that was?
I'll see if anybody said it. I think late 70s maybe.
I know it was kind of early on, and I know they put a little
early 80s. It wasn't there when we were in high school. So
they put a little playground in there because my buddy Steve Day worked at Kelly's Sandwiches, which was right there, right across the street.
All local.
And he would steal a sandwich for lunch, and I would meet him there, and we would hang out in that there was a little recreation, like a little playground that they had put in so they put a library. This is the stupid decisions.
But they expanded the library there. And first of all, Steve Day wouldn't steal anything. I'm sorry.
Well, he may have left a buck on the counter or something, but that Miss Kelly girl was no joke. She was no joke. The Kelly Sandwiches lady, that little skinny lady, she was like the sandwich Nazi.
Yeah.
And she was no joke. And she tortured my boy Steve Day. Oh. There was some torture going on there.
Well, that's a shame.
So it was a little payback. The free sandwich was a little payback. Besides, that was back in the day when minimum wage was like, $3 and a quarter.
$3, yeah.
right? So I remember that we would go over there and hang out for lunch on like monkey bars or whatever. So the point is you're telling me they tore down the Belameda Pool for a library, for some kind of literacy, whatever importance that has in our culture, and a playground, a lame playground.
Well, I mean, again, I don't know why they tore it down, but that's what was put in its place.
Why didn't they consult us?
Man, I don't know.
They should have consulted us on that.
I don't know. Just got to read through all these. So many people
Who reads? The only thing people read now are texts. They don't read anything. We don't need another library around here.
No, we don't need libraries, do we?
Tear that thing down and put the Belameda Pool back in its place.
All right. The Don't Listen Chumcast is starting a campaign to bring back the Belameda Pool in Belmont, California. Join us, Virginia. Come on.
We're not joking around. I'm not joking around anymore.
Hey,
I started out with a good mood, and now I'm right back to grumpy old man.
I'm sorry. Belameda Pool put you down.
But it is going to be an exciting show today. But before we get to what's coming up, were you ever a Rolling Stones fan?
No, I mean they're fine, but it's not like I would go buy a T-shirt or go to a concert.
Right, never got into them. Like when we were back in the '80s, everybody was wearing the Rolling Stone. It was probably the most popular concert T-shirt there was.
I absolutely understand and appreciate their contributions to rock and their stature. I think that's all well deserved. I just for me it's fine, but it's just it feels musically feels very repetitive to me.
I was kind of the same way, and I had a friend, one friend. That's it. It wasn't a cricket. It was my one friend, and he was a Stones fan. And he was like, "Man, you're missing out, dude." I'm like, "I'm not really into them. They're not." And he gave me this album, Exile on Main Street.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, seriously, this is back in the CD days. I just blew that CD up.
You loved it?
Yeah, because there were horns. That's just the story behind it was that the Stones got all smacked out on heroin. They stayed in a hotel in the middle of nowhere, like somewhere in south of France or something. It was like some famous, huge mansion with nothing. And all they did was heroin and smack and drugs and alcohol. And they wrote this album, and it's phenomenal. Harmonicas, like I'm big in the harmonicas. Yeah. I'm big in the brass, big into the whole album. It was like 18 songs. 18 songs.
That back, yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
Nope, they don't do that.
Actually, they don't even make albums
back in August here in the Bay Area. They came to. They're doing the world tour, and they came to Levi Stadium. Did you go or anybody go?
I cannot do old people.
I can't
old people concerts. Yeah. I mean, we are old people, but I cannot do the old people vibe. Coming back
I'm trying to remember. I think they were sold out. I mean, they sell out, man.
Yeah, they do sell out. That's like a cult.
Keith Richards, that guy is
got a great guitar. I mean, he knows how to play the guitar.
Yeah,
and he knows how to write too. He writes a lot of the music.
And I think he knew Thomas Jefferson.
But I thought he did, and he went.
Yeah,
I think he may have played a little music with Thomas, with TJ.
Probably, but there you go. Anyway, we digress.
Let's see. Coming up, we got a conspiracy theory. It's the shut the fuck up conspiracy theory from hell.
Okay.
And that's coming up a little bit later. And that's going to be all about the fake news that all of us have to deal with these days.
Yep.
Fake news.
The whole thing. Yep. It's become part of the pop culture.
I mean, I can't. We're going to break it down, though.
And it means different things to different people, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely the way you perceive things. That's coming up a little bit later because I'm a conspiracy theory freak. We've also got the Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka. But right now, let's get into what happened on this day in history. And it's brought to you by Dupree Printing.
On this day in history!
Whoa, look what popped out of the toaster. Holy
Lego my ego.
Moly. It's what happened on this day in history back in 1994.
Oh. What happened in 94?
It's that dude Bezos.
What did he do?
Jeff Bezos created Amazon.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was originally named Cadabra, but it was quickly changed after he started looking for words that started with the letter A.
Because you want to be up there on the... See, that's smart.
On the Google search.
And he was all into books.
So now that's the way it started, very humble beginnings. Now they say it's conservatively, I would say, 1.2 trillion.
Yes.
300 million active users. Deliveries are shipped to more than 100 countries. It's really what they're all about is delivery.
Yeah, and always they call it the last mile. How do they get it to just that last little from their place to your doorstep?
I don't know. We've come a long way. They basically put the United States Postal Service out of business.
They have to use the Postal Service now. They don't have enough capacity, so they're keeping them alive, and that's why they're getting the drones. Right, they're trying everything out they can to try and keep those costs down, especially in the rural areas. So getting the drones out.
1994. Like when you say 1994, it sounds like yesterday, but it's really like 400 years ago.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Let's see. Okay, so really Amazon is about customer focus. So they sold this business on easy returns, a very wide selection, and as we mentioned here, the delivery. And Amazon owns its own delivery fleet and also their freight network. So they deliver to 66% of all U.S. packages.
There you go.
So they got the market share.
Yeah.
UPS,
well,
United States Postal Service, they're all using Amazon.
There you go.
Dude, Jeff Bezos.
So my brother worked there. He was in charge of the product manager for the Kindle for many years. And he always said two things. Everything's about the customer.
That's right.
Everything's about the customer. And he also says that they don't make bad decisions. He says they might take a long time to make a decision, but when one is made, it's generally pretty spot right.
So they're known for storing the credit card information, one-click orders, talking about the customer service, and the checkout process, right? One-click checkout process. You don't have to wait in a line, any of that kind of stuff. So Amazon brought that stuff all to us.
I remember they're trying that with Whole Foods, right? So you can walk in without no checkers. You just put your stuff in a basket, and it checks you out when you walk out the door.
Yeah.
Just make it easy, right?
Yeah, and now, so it has morphed into NFL games. They have enough money to... Yeah. NFL's not cheap, right? And Amazon has enough money, obviously, to... score NFL games, force people in, the addicts. They love those rigged NFL games. So they're going to go to Amazon Prime and they're going to watch their games so they can see if they, win their fantasy games or if the spread hits, right? Because you can bet on everything.
Yeah, there you go.
So they've got the NFL games and movies, of course, Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Founder Jeff Bezos has a very interesting story. So conservatively, again, I would say his worth is well over $200 billion, but that's what's being reported. He went to Princeton and he studied, what do you think he studied?
I don't know. Logistics, economics.
Starts with a PH.
Phosphorus.
Physics.
Oh.
So that degree was probably a little bit worthless. So he grew up working at McDonald's and he founded Amazon in a garage. He is a big Star Trek fan. His zodiac sign is a Capricorn, which is known for high IQs, discipline, and natural leaders.
Really? You threw that in? Zodiac signs?
Oh, yeah. I'm big in the zodiac thing.
Are you?
Even though, I don't always agree with what it says about me because Libras are always awesome. Always.
They are?
Yeah. And some days they say it's not awesome. I'll read my horoscope from time to time.
Okay.
Libra, balance, dude. I'm the balance guy. Libra.
Oh, okay.
So, but the Capricorn fits him pretty good. And, the most amazing part of his story is that his mom was 16 years old when she gave birth to him.
Oh.
And it goes right back to the whole thing. Greatness comes from struggle, right? All this greatness, the greatest people in the whole world, they all had to struggle. Or a high percentage of them are not born into it. Like George W.
Yeah.
Was nothing to freaking, high five about because he was kind of born into it. He already had a bunch of money. His dad was a CIA operative and all that.
Yeah.
Bezos had nothing. He was working at McDonald's and his mom was 16 when he came. He was the one out of the litter.
Had the balls to start a company. That's
it.
Impressive.
The balls.
Yeah, that's impressive enough. There was a funny clip about him speaking about when he started Amazon, and you see founders, they do everything themselves at first, right? They don't hire people. They do everything themselves. So he's taking orders during the day and then he's packaging at night, and they realized that his knees were getting sore because he's on the ground boxing things up.
Oh yeah.
So his first investment, he says, were knee pads. So he felt that was a big step forward to get knee pads. We went from sitting on the floor to getting knee pads sitting on the floor. And then they realized, hey, why don't we get a table? make it easier on ourselves. So it's just some funny things. But anybody, I've been involved with startups, and that's the glory of startups is when you're in just a piece of crap place,
a garage,
you're doing everything yourself because you learn the business, and it's just the way to go.
Because you're 16, you're a Star Trek fan, and you used to work at McDonald's.
There you go. And he liked books.
And he liked books. He was a reader, and now he's scoring all the hot chicks.
Yeah.
He's scoring all the hot chicks.
He's got some guns on him now.
He's a player.
He's a player.
Yeah. Come and get it.
Come and get it.
That's all he has to say is come and get it. Come and get it.
He's fine.
That was what happened on this day in history back in 1994, and it was brought to you by our friends at Fancy Pants Apparel.
Don't listen, chumcast.com.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Taboo, voodoo, and boohoo. Don't fucking listen.
Welcome back. It is the Don't Listen Chumcast. I'm Big Red. He's the Shebs.
Shebs.
Yeah. That's who you are, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't really recognize you.
What do you mean you don't recognize
You
me?
look kind of funny.
What do you mean I look funny?
It's not the size of your pencil. It's how you write your name.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's from a great movie it's a documentary that every 80s kid should see that I've told you to watch for like the last 4 years.
Oh, that one? Yeah, I haven't yet.
The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2. There's 3 parts, but Part 2 is the one that I want you to watch because you're a big Bon Jovi fan.
Yeah, but why wouldn't I watch Part 1?
It's because Part 1 is about punk rock, the rise of punk rock.
Oh, yeah.
Part 2 is about the rise of glam rock.
I like punk rock.
It's the most amazing,
I like
dude.
punk rock. Neil Diamond was fantastic.
Oh, did I just say dude?
You did.
Oh, look what I just pulled out. Look at what I just pulled.
You're not
Look at
supposed
it.
to pull
Check it
that
out.
out.
Check it out. I don't care. I already pulled it out. Check it out.
It says dude.
The history of dude. All right. So listen, coming up a little bit later, we're going to get into Holla, which is some interesting emails and some Facebook DMs that we got from you guys. And we've also got the conspiracy theory of the year coming up.
The year.
I mean, of the year.
Of season 2 or the year?
It could be of the decade.
Oh.
But we're going to talk about fake news coming up a little bit later. But right now it's time for the Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka. And it's brought to you by our friends at the Flex Gyms.
Oh yeah, the booyah and the boom shakalaka.
Oh, yeah. Look what popped out of the toaster.
Yes. Yeah, Rachel was, she's already got retrieved the fishbowl.
She is looking fine today.
Thanking everybody from Is Chill. We got Evan, Daniel, Eric, Ryan, and of course Rachel. Thank you very much. Doug is back in his home in Ohio, Columbus.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Spending a lot of time there.
Yeah, I think he's recovering from a medical procedure.
Oh boy, I love those.
Yeah. So hello to Doug back in. Where is he at? Circleville near Columbus, Ohio there. But we have, as always,
Circleville.
Parenting us, Michael from Whetstone.
Speaking of medical procedures, I just got a letter from my doctor saying they're going up my butthole.
Oh, good for you.
They're going to go up.
I got a couple more years.
Yeah. The first time I had that done was with a finger, and it was a mean-looking lady who seemed to get joy out of putting her finger in my butt.
Did you send her flowers the next day?
She goes, okay, turn around and put your elbows on the table.
Oh, that's it. I would lay down my side for that.
Like a sergeant. She was like a sergeant. Yeah, but I'm taller. Maybe that was the thing.
Oh.
And she was like a shrimp oompa loompa, militant, tattooed, scary person.
Really?
Oh, there was something going on there.
That should be a whole show.
And she just had no problem. I went, whoa! I've never. You
knew it was coming.
It doesn't matter, dude. Dude, I just said dude again.
Hey,
it doesn't matter, dude. So, yeah, it goes the whole thing. I think up to her elbow went in a place it's for out, and it went in, and I was like, oh my god, you stole my virginity. I said,
you said that.
She laughed. It broke the ice and everything, and then she jammed it through my freaking. Yeah,
well,
she kept jamming everything in there.
The key thing is
everybody cable car back there.
Everybody says this. The key thing is that when they take the finger out from again, this is a normal examination. When they take the finger out, how fast do they remove the glove? That's the key.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
I
was in shock.
Yeah, is it kind of they tearing the thing off as they're pulling it off, or they pull it out and then they pull it off? You always got to watch for those little cues because everything can mean something. So but we should do an episode on colonoscopies, our different experiences. That would be fun.
Yeah, that'll be neat. I can't wait.
Yeah, maybe I'll go have one done early, and just so we can talk about it.
So you know how much shit I took about writing the history of dude. Like the word dude.
And you said the word shit after talking about having doctors giving you exams. Yeah.
Oh, giddy up.
Way to tie that in. Yeah.
Look what popped out of the toaster.
There you go. Yes. Same thing. All right. So the fishbowl, the history of dude.
Yeah. And so someone accused me of using that word too much. And I was like, whoa. Let me see if we can get this on to the Chumcast. So I started looking into it and I was like, this is Chumcast worthy. So there's a serious history to the meaning of the word dude. Dude is American slang for those of you who've been living, in a rat hole for, the last decade or so. And I can't say that I blame you for doing that. But dude is American slang for an individual, typically male, very sharp dressed or fashionable. Dude. I'm doing air quotes. Mm-hmm. Dude. Sometimes referred to as a, air quotes, city slicker.
Ah, there you go.
A cityfied person. Air quotes. Ooh. Visiting a rural town, right? When a cityfied guy visits a rural town.
I always thought that was also, I didn't know it was related to dude, but they called people dandies.
Well, we're getting there.
Oh, I jumped the gun.
Yeah, what does that mean? Jumping the gun or put your wheels in front of the cart?
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Yeah, I'm the horse is behind the cart, yeah.
So the guy's name that we don't know, who should have a monument in at least New York City, because he's from New York City, Evander Barry Wall. He's a New York City socialite who was dubbed the King of Dudes in 1888.
Yeah.
Is that all you got for me?
1888? Wow, dude has been around for a long time.
1888.
Did they surf back in the 1888s?
No, this is New York City.
Okay. All right.
Something tells me I would have been hanging out with Evander.
Yeah, maybe.
Because this dude was in...
You're a dandy.
He got into the New York City it's called the New York American Publication. And the article was called The Battle of the Dudes.
Oh.
So Evander got very, very famous overnight for being a sharp-dressed
dude.
Nice.
Dandy. When does dandy come in? I always thought that was kind of where good-looking men were dandies.
Well, it was speculated that dude came from the word doodle.
Yeah.
As in Yankee Doodle.
Yankee Doodle dandy.
As in dandy.
Yeah, there you go. Now we've connected the dots here. See, this is why sometimes we need some prep work, but yeah.
It could have been, we don't ever do any much prep work around here, so you can rule that out.
If you're going to cheat, and I swear to God, I think you taped this card to get to the bowl, so.
No, I just grabbed it.
All right.
I just grabbed it.
There's
only like three other ones in there.
Five for this. Five more. You got 1 in 5 chance.
So there's your Yankee Doodle Dandy connection. It could have been mostly about dudes showing off their wardrobes because they were
What?
air quotes, all duded up.
Oh, yeah.
Cowboys use the term to unfavorably refer to city dwellers. Dude.
So
Ranches. Dude ranches. You remember dude ranches?
yeah. But if it came from dude, was it DOOD back then? Not DUDE?
No, DUDE.
Was it really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Dude ranches began in the West in the start of the 20th century for Easterners to experience cowboy life. I would love to go to a dude ranch, like City Slickers.
But they're
The movie.
That was kind of a slang, though. They were kind of making fun of you, or were they?
I like to be made fun of. I'm used to it.
Well, you're 9 feet tall and a
Easy
redhead.
target.
Yeah.
And then you can make fun of other people and you can get a little rapport going. It's all good.
Dude Ranch. Okay, let's go. Let's do a live broadcast from there.
See, now you're starting to think.
All right.
The word gained popularity and women jumped into it with air quotes dudette. Women wanted to get
Back
in
when?
on. They wanted to get in on the frenzy, dudette.
I
But
thought that was more of a recent thing.
that was very short-lived as the dude became genderless.
Oh, a girl can be a dude.
It comes full circle to today.
Oh, yeah.
Dude is genderless. We can all enjoy dude.
We're all dudes.
Yeah, because girls didn't like being called dudette. And
Yeah.
it doesn't have the same ring. It doesn't have the same feel,
I'm
right?
kind of lazy. There's a little extra syllable there. It's kind of hard for me.
The term became a way to describe jobs, right? The librarian?
Is a dude.
No, the book dude. A librarian equals the book dude.
Uh,
And then it got into the surfing culture. You know, they got away from using guy and fella. And finally,
hi, partner.
and hey, dude, like Spicoli, yo, dude, what's up, dude? Like that, right?
Yeah.
And then it got into the bro culture, right? And then the big break for dude was in 1969 in the movie Easy Rider with Jack Nicholson,
Oh, okay.
right? They slipped the word dude into coolness. And I don't know if you've ever seen Easy Rider, but dude, you need to smoke one or take a gummy or do your thing. And Easy Rider in 1969, dude, Jack Nicholson, I said it again, dude.
Yeah.
See, just,
It's
dude.
it's there. It's normal.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson, amazing in that movie. I mean, he's amazing in everything, but Easy Rider is one you got to watch.
I mean, I was a fawn in the 1970s, and it scared me because of the shootings at the end. Not that I want to ruin the movie for anybody, but yeah.
And of course, we all know in 1998, Jeff Bridges, the dude abides,
Oh yes.
the Big Lebowski,
Yep.
right? So he took the dude and embodied it.
Yep.
He made it here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, and we'll be out of here in just 1 second. Seriously, back off. We're talking about the dude. Get
That's
him out.
Daniel. Daniel. He's almost done.
We're almost done. And this time thing means nothing. Podcasts nowadays go for like 3 hours at a time.
I know, and this is a Chumcast. We go 6.
Yeah, dude. So dudism is a religion. This is the kicker. This is what everybody needs to hear. Dudism is a religion. It's inspired by the Big Lebowski. This whole thing came about from the Dude Abides. March 6th is celebrated as High Holy Day of Dudism. This is real. This is not fake. The Day of the Dudes.
Wow.
You think I'm joking?
No.
Look at the face.
When the red light goes on, no, you're not joking at all. You're all serious.
They meet in a church, and the church is called the Church of the Latter-day
Dudes.
You got it. 450,000 what?
Dudettes.
Dudists.
Dudists.
Not Buddhists. Dudists.
Oh, that's clever.
And, that's 450,000 Dudist priests worldwide.
Oh.
There's not just 450,000 Dudists. Let's be clear. It's 450,000 Dudist priests.
Who could marry you, probably, right?
Oh, I think they can do a lot if they're priests.
Yeah.
A lot of touching. A lot of loving.
Oh.
Buddha and Jesus Christ are the great dudes of history.
There you go. There you go. That actually had some legs.
You are not a dude guy, though. You do not use the word dude. I use it. I get accused of overusing dude all the time. You know why? Because I'm a dudist.
Oh.
I'm a member of the church.
I use dude.
I'm a priest. And I didn't tell anybody, but I'm a dude priest. I'm a dudist priest.
What do I say? I call you, hey, fella.
Well, you don't. That was a surfing thing. Hey, fella.
Hey, pal.
Hey, pal. That was a good one.
Hey, bud.
Hey, bud. See, that's Spicoli.
Well, it's hey, bud, what's your problem? But yeah, there you go.
And that was the Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka. And it was brought to you today by our friends at Flex Gyms.
Don't listen. It's a mind virus.
STFU, GTFO, and WTF.
This is how we party.
Taboo, voodoo, and boohoo. Don't fucking listen.
Okay, welcome back. Come and get it. It's the Don't Listen Chumcast. I'm Big Red. He's the Shebs. We are getting ready to end the show. We've only got a couple segments left, but they're big. We're going to read the emails a little bit later in Holla.
Oh, that's nice.
But right now, it's time for the STFU, the Shut the Fuck Up Conspiracy Theory from Hell.
Ugh, shut the up. Another conspiracy theory from hell.
The STFU Conspiracy Theory from Hell is brought to you by Connor HVAC Systems. And today we're going to talk about the fake news. Everybody wants to talk about the fake news.
Fake news.
We don't want to talk about it as much as the Donald, but we do want to talk about it.
Yeah. And again, yeah. Okay. Fake news. There we go. It's been, it probably means different things to different people.
Yeah. You're exactly right. Like, I don't think fake is exactly always the most accurate word to describe the news that we consume. And by the way, if you look at these consumption numbers of news these days, not like the CBS Evening News or like your local news, but all the news, all the many different platforms
so many
that there
different
are.
sources, yeah.
Yeah, like all over the place. If you look at the consumption of it now, it is through the frickin' roof. It's like a camel out a watering hole.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how humans are now consuming news, right? The news cycle is now obviously a 24-hour deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like Jerry Seinfeld says. He goes, "The news isn't the news." Can you do a Jerry Seinfeld? I can't really do a Jerry Seinfeld. I wish I could.
What are you talking about? No, I don't know if I can.
That was pretty good because he does have that high pitch thing. Seinfeld is pretty smart. He comes up with some pretty good stuff every once in a while. And he's like, the news is not the news, man. They're stuck in this, like, the evening news at 5 o'clock. It should be called the videos that you missed on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
All day long, you weren't paying attention. All these videos were going on YouTube all day, and here we are at 5 o'clock, and we're having to re-show them for your lame ass.
Yeah. Yeah. That's there you go. There you go.
So we are consuming a lot of news at this point. So
a lot of information.
And I will admit that sometimes it is blatantly fake. Now we're living in this AI. We're going into this AI world, and there are times where I'm this guy. I love conspiracies. I'm the idiot who thinks that the NFL is rigged. Right? I think sports is rigged.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm going to think that the news is fake on some level, right? But there is some context. There is some evidence. I mean, I'm not completely idiotic. There's something that points to some news being some fake.
Well, I mean,
and I'm here to point it out.
Well, define news, right? Are you talking about the major? That's the whole thing, right? You go into somebody, the Young Turks. Are you going to go to some YouTube channel? Right? You're going to go to what? I mean,
yeah, where are you going to get it? There's so many platforms, right? So, but mostly it's bias, right? Mostly, if it's blatantly fake or whatever you guys want to say, it's mostly biased. It's propagandized now. It's exaggerated, and it's self-serving to the networks for the most part because they want audience. And the other word that goes in here is it's ignored. If they don't like it, they can ignore it, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to report it. So these networks are mostly all owned by who? The Hollywood studios own all four: Fox, NBC, CBS, and ABC. They own them all. If you guys Google those studios, they own fucking everything. They own everything. Like Warner Brothers is like a conglomerate of everything. NBC is a conglomerate of everything. Like Universal is in there, Paramount is in there,
right.
Warner Brothers is in there. Like I think Warner Brothers has been sold off to like 36,000 different companies.
Right.
Right? They're everywhere. You don't seem interested.
No, I'm interested. I'm picking my spots. All right.
Oh, you're picking your nose.
I'm just I'm giving you some rope to hang yourself with. That's
okay. Oh, I'm pretty good at that. So anyway, the studios own all of these networks. So it's their agendas, right? It's the studio's agendas. It's their beliefs. It's their propaganda. And because it's based in entertainment, it needs to be spectacular. It needs to be entertaining, full of emotion, and most of all, it must be framed and presented for as many viewers as possible because they've got to sell it to the advertisers. And all the advertisers are interested in is
what?
Audience.
Yeah, viewer size, right?
An audience. So they frame it. And a lot of this comes from fear. Now, for instance, I will give a short example here. You watch the Today Show or ABC News. They're always going to include some sort of the weather's going to kill you. You're going to get jacked up by the weather. So fear is a big factor, right? They can get you with fear. Do you admit to that? There's a hurricane. There's an earthquake. There's a snow shower. There's a tornado. You better watch out because it's going to mow your house down.
During the summer, here's the fires. Here's the smoke, right? Yeah.
It's all about, I mean, in the end, it's big money. It's viewers and big money, and it's their view, right? Like this Chumcast is our view. The view that you're getting is their view. So you're going to get those studios, whatever their agenda, it's a bad word because it's so overused, but whatever they want you to hear is what you're going to hear because they own 4, not 14, not 24. There are 4 networks to choose from, and they own them.
Yeah.
So it's their point of view. I just want to make that clear.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right. So there's somebody somewhere, like a George Costanza somewhere, who's saying we're leading off with the hurricane that's ripping through Florida right now. We're going to scare them to keep and we're going to talk about it at the beginning, but we're not going to show it until like 20 minutes after. And then when we show it, it's going to be like a sprinkle. It's going to be like it's going to, and the weather guys. You ever see the weather guys?
Yeah.
The weather guys, they're falling over the wind is pushing them to another time zone.
Oh, that's right.
They're always faking.
I always wondered how everybody has to get evacuated, but they're standing there right in the middle of Main Street.
And they're the worst fakers. Their hats are still intact, right? Their hoods are still intact, but they try to make you so scared. That's just a big thing.
Okay. I mean, again, I'm not.
So, and by the way,
I'm half agreeing with you.
Well, you can state your case. 60 Minutes. This is not all about. I'm not a Nazi. This is not all about me.
No.
So 60 Minutes. I'm just giving the context. So the studios own it. So it's their point of view. 60 Minutes. When they came on air, which was, like with Morley Safer and Dan Rather and all those old guys back in the day. So before 60 Minutes hit the airwaves, news was a dud. With Walter Cronkite and Dan Rather, it didn't make any money. It got no viewers. It got no advertisers. Got nothing. 60 Minutes came on and taught the news networks how to get ratings, how to get easy market share and big money. They created bios. They created, it was less boring because it was no longer about news. It was about characters, storylines, drama. They built these people into, icons, right? And sadly, they rarely mixed it in with a strong commitment of presenting truths because they knew that news was a dud. They knew that truth was getting them nowhere. They knew that truth equaled boring, which equaled, dude, there's nothing in my Velcro wallet right now.
There still has to be.
60 Minutes taught them. 60 Minutes changed the whole landscape. And then the phones came in and gave us the 24-hour news cycle.
Right. I get that point, but I think there's through all the networks, there's a cadre of true journalists with integrity that must also be satisfied and appeased for them to work for the networks.
That's money.
So I think there's a balance. I totally agree with some of what kind of the general.
Well, it's
things.
the truth. It's the historical context.
But I think that all the networks at some level provide that fundamental news reporting about what's going on in the world and so forth. I think there is a journalistic integrity at most of the major networks that goes on down the road. Then you get these sub networks that kind of. And then some of the networks that have kind of the half news, but half also that commentary stuff, which is much more political, almost like a political organization, from the MSNBCs to the Fox. The kind of the host things that really provide a much more biased perspective. And that's where I think messages get. Certain parts of stories get highlighted where other ones are not, and that's where you kind of get spun into stuff. But I think through all the major networks and stuff, from the CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox. I mean, from a news perspective for the news shows, I think those slots are filled, I think, by true journalists with some integrity that also must be appeased by the networks. So.
Okay, I agree with that. Can we agree on this? That of the four major networks, that what they are presenting is their perception of their truths, right? You present your truths, right? Whether you are into race cars or stock cars, right? You present your truth, right?
I think I don't know if you present your truth. I think the journalists, and this goes with the papers and stuff, follow some basic rules about confirmation of data sources and so forth. I don't think they would air something that wasn't confirmed. And if they do say something that's not confirmed, they say it's not confirmed. So
very trusting. You're a very trusting guy.
Well, I just listen for the nuances.
The country America has this very deep, sadistic history of propaganda.
Yeah, but what's happening now is I think you go beyond the major networks, and the major newspapers and so forth.
Of course, there's a 24-hour news cycle. We have all the phones,
which again I think follow some rules of journalism. Then you get into people with agendas spinning things from really just spinning things to where they want to present a certain kind of topic or a certain viewpoint, to just making to other people just down the lower rung just making stuff up.
So let me throw this curveball at you, and this is again from a conspiracy theorist here that loves a conspiracy. So I will throw this curveball at you, that the agendas at the networks come from the advertisers. So if you have an advertiser, I'm not going to mention any names, but you have a large corporation, and they come to your president of, CNN, Fox, ABC, whatever. They come to them. They go, "Hey, I got a check here for $450 million for the second half of the year, for the third and fourth quarter. But what I'd like for you to do is continue to talk about this subject." "Oh, no, we can't do that. The reply is, "Oh, no, we can't do that. We report the news." Okay, fine. Thank you very much. I'm going to take this check and I'm going to go over here. Now, do you think that, I'm not saying this is fact, but is there a possibility that the advertising dollars that the corporate media is slave to has some control over what is being said. I mean, as a businessman, are you going to be able to say no to $450 million? What if they just want to say, hey, let's talk about this. Let's talk about that more. Let's push this a little bit more. I think that the United States in particular, I think we're very corrupt. Very corrupt. I think the business deals are just as corrupt as my corrupt thinking is. I think there's some corruption going on. But we don't know. This is all speculation, right?
I don't know if a company would come and say, I want you to speak about a subject. I don't know.
Not a particular subject, a particular perception. Like their truth. The truth would come from the advertiser who is paying everybody who is at that news corporation.
I think the advertiser knows what they want to say. I think the audience is fixed based on the networks. I think the advertisers pivot their messages based on the networks and what they want to see. I think, the viewership of Fox is different than the viewership of MSNBC. Just as two simple examples that are both two networks that are trying to kind of be the same thing.
Yeah.
I think Fox is much better at it from a political organization standpoint.
Definitely have the competitive separation.
MSNBC is trying to be a kind of more of a political organization at times, but I think Fox is on message every day, right? So I think they some of the things that they do, again, this is much more on the, again, I think Fox News, I think there's a much more play to the audience, and the advertisers follow that suit than the advertisers directing what to say. So
my point overall is to try and get people to think a little bit about this, about the behind the scenes stuff. I do have some media background, but what becomes difficult is for the viewers, like we are viewing and consuming this news at all-time levels. Like, we are just sitting around consuming stuff all day long, news all day long. So the question for people who are consuming all this is, how do you filter through what the noise is and what the truth actually is? Mm-hmm. Right? How do you find a way to do that? That's just something, that's a question.
I will say the only way you can do it is just don't be lazy. Right.
Oh God.
So that's just the thing. That to me, that's just the thing.
Shouldn't be that hard.
No, but you have to now, right? With the biases and the stuff on YouTube and all the specialized networks now and their spins and then the AI generated stuff. You just don't buy anything. Don't take anything for granted. Don't take anything word for word, unless you kind of look into yourself and you have to kind of do your own research on stuff just to kind of make sure that what you're whatever decision you're making in your mind about a certain subject is based on
your likes and dislikes, your tendencies,
right?
Right?
At least if you're basing on numbers or facts, make sure it's correct, and then put that into your, again, what you've experienced in life when you come up with your opinion on something.
Yeah, and here's another issue, right? So this is the problem with propaganda is, once the networks decide to be bold enough to pick a side, like this goes back, one of the most interesting propaganda eras in United States history is, Andrew Jackson and his election and what happened. That's a real turning point in media. A nasty, really, the election of 1828, 1834, 1824, those were nasty. The media almost stole the whole show there. So the problem, another issue that you get into is when the media picks a side, they kind of lose their credibility, right? When you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you're gonna defend the Dallas Cowboys, right? Well, if you're a fan or you pick a side, then you have to think to yourself, wow, they're on this team or they're picking that. Well, you
only lose credibility.
Credibility gets lost when a team is picked.
But not to the people who like the Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly. And this nation
so this is where
split 50-50.
This is where you get into camps, right? Your tribe. People use the term tribe. But then you just start accepting anything that someone on your tribe, your team saying, and that's the truth. That's all you know. And then you start repeating it, right?
And I thought we were like the king of mind viruses, but the network's got us beat.
But again, I don't know if it's.
It's hard to swallow.
I think
It's a conspiracy theory.
It really feels like, again, I think there's a general slight liberal bias in medias, but I think the major networks and CNN fundamentally are kind of there, with NBC going left, Fox going right, and then from there it's all a shit show where people are getting into camps. But I generally think that the news organizations are, while they have a general liberal bias, always have, I think there's some journalistic integrity with the guys.
Can we agree that it's all screwed up at this point? Let's talk about Ben Franklin and Thomas Jefferson.
I think it's just hard to understand. I think you just have to be very careful about, if you're going to go all in on some issue, make sure you understand
free speech, and
you've done the work yourself, not relying on somebody else.
Exactly, and free speech and objective press is what George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and all those guys put into that's what they wanted. But and that's what I was actually taught in college as a communications major, was report the news objectively.
Yeah.
That's completely gone. And there's no bringing it back. So here's my, and we'll end this on this. Here's my solution to this, is that me and you, we go into business together, because I love doing business with you, Shebs.
Well, Shebs is a good person to do business with.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. So what we do is we find our own niche, much like we haven't been able to accomplish here with the crickets at the Chumcast, right?
There's no fan base.
But we learn with failure.
Yeah.
So what we do is we come up with our own news network, and we call it, because we're looking for a niche, right? If everybody's out there selling, storylines, characters, drama, trauma, they're out there scaring everybody, they're getting audience. Well, if everybody's doing that, let's be boring. And let's call our network the Boring Network, where all we do is report the news objectively. That's all we do. Okay. We were at the Super Bowl. Here's story number 1 with Big Red. I was at the football game today, and the LA Rams scored a touchdown.
Oh, that would be good.
The pass went from the quarterback to the tight end, and it was a hell of a catch. Let's go to the video.
Do you remember during the
That's it.
Yeah, I think you got into something there. Let's do that.
Boring. No one's boring.
Yeah.
No one's boring. Everybody's spectacular.
Let's run through the scores. There was a 3-2 game. There was a 4-6 game. There was a 7-3 game. There's your baseball scores.
And boy,
there you go.
And boy, it was warm out today.
Remember, was it John Krasinski? Who's the guy from The Office?
That's the weather. Boy, the weather was some weather today.
Yes.
It was a little hot for me.
Let's go up in space and put the maps in motion, and we'll show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Today, it's like with the weather, it's like, oh, here's the 10-day outlook. We're going to show you exactly what the weather's not going to be in 10 days.
Yeah, there you go. Hot. Damn hot. But you remember John Krasinski?
We should do it, man.
Remember the guy from The Office who did during the pandemic?
I love that guy.
Did the good news or something like that?
Yeah.
Where he came on, just found good stories, and everybody was just dying for something good. Yeah, that's similar thing. Just report.
Someone's going to steal our idea.
No inflection in your voice. It's just straight up. Yeah, like we're kind of like an exciting Russian news program. Just no inflection in your voice. Just say it how it is.
So that's our take on the fake news.
There you go.
I mean, there was a little historical context there. There was a little factual-based situation, and we came up with a great idea of our coming up with our own network. So if you would like to sponsor the show and give us a little money to come up with our boring network, go to the website at don'tlistenchumcast.com, follow us at Facebook, contact us, and stroke a check. We can do this.
This might work.
We can do this together.
This might work.
And that was the Shut the Fuck Up Conspiracy Theory from Hell. And it was brought to you by our friends at Connor HVAC Systems.
Don't listen. It's a mind virus.
These dudes are the real Russian puppets. Don't listen.
People, are you ready? Are you ready?
Just a bunch of time. We'll never get back. Don't listen.
Well, looky here. Look at what popped out of the toaster.
Popped out of the toaster, that 30-second dance. People are still dancing again.
Look at what shot out of the cannon.
I think it's funny how when we go into the break, how everybody really starts, all the crew in the back start dancing. It's kind of funny. We gotta get some cameras in here just so they can just not on us. We have no looks that will sell. We gotta just keep it on these young is chill guys. It was
AI is going to save us.
Oh, really?
AI. We can make ourselves freaking hot, dude. I just bought a T-shirt of like some body, Schwarzenegger body.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna wear that everywhere.
You should buy one.
I'm gonna wear it to church.
Makes you look shorter.
So I don't want people to remember the whole fake news segment. I want them to remember that it's not the size of your pencil; it's how you write.
That's a good one.
Your name.
That's a good one.
I kind of screwed it up. It's not the size of your pencil; it's how you write your name. And again, I want people to remember that is from the movie.
Yes, the documentary.
You can't. That's not the title. Can you remember?
The something end of civilization.
This is the beginning of Alzheimer's. You got Alzheimer's right now.
Yeah, I mean that's
the decline of Western civilization, part
2
with
Bon Jovi,
Ozzy, and
oh, you're talking about
and Alice Cooper.
Oh, the Moscow Music Peace Festival. Ozzy was there. It was Bon Jovi. Skid Row, Cinderella.
Wasp. It's about all these guys that come to, like, Poison came to L.A. Poison came to L.A. from Pennsylvania, right? And it's like
they were L.A. guys.
It's like right when they get there, and they're just so fucked up,
they
dude.
Put makeup on.
Yeah, I mean, they took the makeup thing to a whole new level, but everybody was doing that at that point.
They look good in it.
It's a great movie. It's a real documentary.
Right,
it's not like a screwed up. What's the name of it?
The End of Western Civilization, Part 2.
The decline of Western civilization. And it's free on YouTube. You will thank me later. Let's get into these. Let's get into Holla. And Holla is being brought to you today by Pistol Pete's Sandwiches and Pizza Shops. And what do you got? You got something? You got something right there.
I got one. We got if anybody who's been listening to season 1.
Here, give me the notes here. Give me the love letters.
Hey, you take these. Here. I got Stacy from Gilroy. We kind of stopped reading her stuff because she was writing lots of interesting comments.
Interesting. She was talking about my long schlong.
Yeah. There you go.
That's what you're saying. Long schlong, King Kong dong.
Stacy from Gilroy.
Donkey Kong.
Well, she hadn't heard from her all season 2 here, and then she finally wrote. And there's a lot of stuff here, but basically she's really enjoying season 2.
Oh, wow. That's big coming from her.
Yes, but she had a lot of questions, so Stacy, I did answer you when you hear this, in case you haven't seen it, but I did answer some of your questions. So there you go.
Stage 5 stalker. Awkward.
Stacy. I wonder what her mom looks like.
I don't know. We got one from Peter Pan. Oh, I bet her mom might be Milfy.
Yeah, Stacy's mom has got it
going on. Yeah, buddy. This Peter Pan wrote us, and it's Peter. It's not the U.S. Peter Pan. It's the Peter Pan from the U.K. Manchester. The U.S. The political stuff in the U.S. is a shit show. And this is a guy from England telling us that we got a shit show. And we left those fuckers a long time ago.
That's right. I'm half British, though. Come on.
Yeah, I think I got some of that in me.
Yeah, there you go.
Everybody here probably does pretty much.
All right, there you go.
It's a shit show. He says it's a shit show. Pelosi versus Trump. Oh, was a fantastic listen. So he's talking about the season 1. So, a lot of people binge this stuff, right?
Yeah. Because my next one, the guy just started episode 1 for the season. So that's his comment. So, yeah, people are behind. They're not current, but that's okay.
And we don't really dive into the politics a bunch, but we did do Pelosi versus Trump in season 1.
Yeah.
And he
who,
said,
who would screw their mother more?
yeah, who would steal their mom's money?
Right.
Yeah. So Pelosi versus Trump was a fantastic listen. Keep up the good work. He gave us $200. Can you verify that?
Nice. Yeah, I can look.
We'll do that right now because
What's his name?
I don't believe him. Peter Pan. So we don't know who.
No, Peter Pan.
No, that's what they do now. 200. Let's just see if we got $200.
I'm looking.
$200 donation, and he requested a sponsor. So let's see.
Okay.
Let's see what we got.
There you go. I got a Paul.
He had to fill out a form for that, so we can track that.
All right. I got Paul from Redwood City here.
Oh, yeah, Paul.
Hometown. And again, hometown, Redwood City on the peninsula. I wonder if I know. That's the Paul I know. It was kind of a neighbor of mine, but he moved. But anyway, Paul just finished episode 1. Loved the MTV video, top video segment. Brought back a lot of memories. Keep up the good work. So there you go. He did not donate anything. So I'm looking here. So.
What a dick.
Yeah, so thank you for the compliment, but yeah.
Next time, leave us a dime, dude.
No bueno.
There's no
Paul.
Everybody tips everybody now. It's like a law.
Come on, Paul. What, you think this is all free here? Jesus, Paul. Come on.
So in case you're wondering, for your note, your love letter to us to be read on the Chumcast, all you have to do is go onto our website at don'tlistenchumcast.com, hit contact, write us a love letter, and maybe we'll read it. Maybe we won't. Because it's our agenda.
Yeah.
And we set this up strictly for a large audience of crickets.
Sometimes it's a fake agenda.
Because haters love us.
they love to tell us.
Okay, this guy's name is the Ridiculous Writer. And he lives...
Why are you getting all the pseudonames? I
don't know.
I get Paul. I get Stacy.
So this guy, the Ridiculous Writer, is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Great diversity in the topics you discuss. Great tempo, better chemistry. What? Who is this guy? What is this guy? Like some producer somewhere? This guy sounds like a professional analyst.
It's probably one of your
great diversity.
It's one of your radio guys.
Great diversity. Like this guy sounds like a pro, like a frickin' critic. Great diversity in the topics you discuss. Great tempo, better chemistry. From pop culture to dreams to herpes. I'm hooked.
He's getting caught up. That's
$25 tip. Did we get the $200?
What's his name? I didn't see the 200. What's his name? Well, I saw a couple 200.
Another fake name, Ridiculous Writer, but it's Tulsa, Oklahoma. You need to work on that.
Okay.
$25 tip is what this guy's saying. And by the way, I am herpes free, but I got to get the butt test this coming up.
Oh, that's exciting. We should do a live broadcast.
Dude, I'd rather die of a butt death than have this.
But you're doing the full colonoscopy, right?
No, I'm just going to hope to get out of it.
Have you had the full colonoscopy yet?
No, I had I had the full hand to the elbow.
No, you need to do the whole thing.
I do not need it. It's a fake.
No, it's not.
Conspiracy theory number 9,000 is you don't need anything up your butthole.
Do it 50. They made you do it on the zeros on your birthday.
Not into it. Vanessa is from Athens, Georgia, and she always wanted to visit the San Francisco Bay Area. And after hearing the episode endorsement, we endorsed them. We
endorsed San Francisco. We did. Go-Car was sponsored a couple times.
Was that this season or
last season?
Last season. Okay, so after she heard the endorsement, she pulled the trigger and she got a great airfare and a great hotel. She was surprised at how cheap the hotels were.
Evan, did we do San Francisco? Was that one of the?
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
So wow, just one. Go-Car rules.
Oh
yeah, Vanessa says Go-Car rules. So she must have.
Hey, if you're gonna do Go-Car, let us know, man, because we'll try to pull some. Probably try to get some discounts for you.
Go-Car is funding our agenda.
They're good. They're good.
They're funding our agenda.
They're good.
We're using their point of view.
They're in Vegas now. We got to go to Vegas.
Dude. Vegas. They're blowing up the Mirage. They've already blew it up.
Let's go to Vegas.
They already blew it up. They blew it up, I think. I don't know. I'm not paying attention to Vegas. Okay, so Go-Car rules. We earned her trust. Thank you. Keep San Francisco beautiful.
There you go.
And last one, Cotton Eye Joe from Mobile, Alabama. We are all in the frickin' Matrix.
There you go. Cotton Eye Joe. I didn't know in Alabama they use the word Matrix.
We are all in the Matrix. What does that mean?
Well, it's an Alabama thing.
Fake news, fake money, fake everything. We're just talking about fake right now. So did we talk about fake before?
No, I don't know.
So this guy was just drunk and pissed.
Yeah.
And in Alabama.
Yeah.
Can't blame him.
There you go.
Corrupt politicians only care about themselves. Hope your Chumcast survives. Hope your Chumcast survives the Civil War. I'm broke, bitches.
Oh.
Why would you choose to give me this one? Of all the ones, why are they?
I don't know. It sounds like they might have sent that themselves.
Fucking dicks.
There you go. All right. Well, that's a good show. You did fine. You were good today. You should be proud of yourself.
I'm stroking it right now.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, I got you all choked up. Quit smoking the cigars, bro.
I'm always choked up. All right.
Okay, that does it. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next Chumcast. And if you're feeling depressed or a little overwhelmed, don't do it. Call the Suicide Prevention Hotline at 866-903-3787. And before we get into remembering things, what we want you to really remember is to follow us on our Facebook page, the Don't Listen Chumcast. Don't Listen Chumcast on Facebook. We got all kinds of stuff to keep giving away. I mean, trucks of cash.
Oh, yes.
So if you're smart, you get to Facebook and follow us. Don't Listen Chumcast. And on our website, all of our audio is there.
Don'tListenChumcast.com.
Don'tListenChumcast.com. It's full episodes. It's short episodes. It's
teasers, the full stuff.
It's the
good
lettuce,
content,
the tomato.
It's photos of ourselves too.
It's the cheese. It's the mayo. It's everything. You know, the sandwich, it's everything in the sandwich.
We've officially bottomed out.
That's don'tlistenchumcast.com. So, and the big thing to remember is that everything we want is on the other side of fear.
Bye, Felicia.
Don't listen. A Basic Chumcast has been an exclusive presentation of Whetstone Entertainment in association with Is Chill Productions. Subscribe, follow, like, and share us while on your favorite social media hangouts and our YouTube channel. We're not into begging, but if you like us, review us and support us by continuing to check us out on your favorite podcast platforms. Find more fun and hit us with your feedback at don'tlistenchumcast.com.
Yeah, that's fantastic.